My boy, Salmonella. Let's see what you got for us. This is some educational part of my college class. I don't give a fuck if you're drinking your beer, hitting your vape, smoking your mota, looking on your iPad. All you gotta do is look up the answers online when the test comes. Don't fail this test.
Hey kids, can I tell you a secret? Come here, closer. Nuclear energy? It's not a bad thing. Sure, 30 years ago, things like Chernobyl and 3 Mile Island were certainly something to worry about. Today, however, it's a different story. Let me tell you kids about thorium. Thorium is uranium's neighbor, just 2 houses down. He's a lot like uranium.
That's an element in the periodic
he's a lot
table.
more chill. Uranium's the type
Remember
to do a
that.
half-assed job during the day and spend every night doing Jaeger bombs and blasting Kendrick Lamar, you know the type. Thorium, on the other hand, is more career-oriented, and at the end of the day, he's cool with just watching Netflix, eating Ben and Jerry's. Let me walk you through all the steps of nuclear power, and you'll see why thorium is so great. Let's start with mining. So when somebody doesn't feel like getting...
Alright, actually, I'm like, imagine if you take these guys, that's me. But if you take this guy too, that's also me. So, you get the best of both worlds with me.
And you'll see why thorium is so great. Let's start with mining. So when somebody doesn't feel like getting out of bed, they'll, whine and moan and roll over. Likewise, when uranium doesn't want to get out of bed, he releases deadly cancer-inducing radon gas. This means workers have to put up expensive ventilation systems just to, not die. Thorium's chill. You go to wake him up, he understands he's got a job to do. Goes without a fuss. And even when you do get
That's
uranium
right, thorium.
up, like the lazy bastard he is, he has much less concentration in his ore compared to thorium, so more work
That's
has to
'cause
be
he's
done
on
just
that
to get the
fan.
same amount of material. The Earth's crust also has much more thorium in total than uranium, about 3 times as much. So you got your ore, and you've extracted it. Ready for work, right? Wrong. You see, natural uranium mainly consists of 2 different isotopes,
Bruh.
uranium-235 and uranium-238.
So, an isotope, this is going to be on your test. Listen, an isotope is like when an element has when a particle has a little bit more different atoms in it than the other one. So then it makes it a little bit different from the other one. Obviously, as you can see where this is going, that gray one's a piece of shit, 99%. That green one is the only one that worked, but the green one looked like he's kind of tweaking a little bit.
238 kind of
The isotope, different particle in atom way.
sucks at life, so uranium has to undergo enrichment to up its concentration of 235. Uranium's kind of like that kid with ADHD, right? You got him in the building, but you still got to give him his own little room and a couple Ritalin before he starts doing anything productive. That's expensive. Thorium, on the other hand, look at him. He's got his sneakers laced, glasses on. He's ready to go. No enrichment needed. Finally, you're ready to make some power. This part's important, kids. Pay attention. So this is where the biggest difference between uranium and thorium comes in. You see, uranium is fissile, whereas thorium is fertile. This means uranium can do his job all by himself, just doing his thing all on his own.
That's right.
Whereas thorium's kind of a cripple. He needs a little bit of someone else just to give him the push he needs to start releasing
I'm like
energy.
both of them.
This might sound like a bad thing, but if you think about it, it's a lot safer. If you've got your power production process started and shit suddenly hits the fan, uranium's just going to keep going. You can try to move him around, cool him down or whatever, but at the end of the day, this man's going to be swinging, and it's not going to be a good day for anyone. Thorium, he's only got one leg. Piss him off, he takes a swing at you, just push him over, you're good. Please note, Salmonella Academy does not condone pushing cripples. And that's what thorium reactors do. They allow the barely radioactive liquid thorium to drain away from its helper in the event of an accident, so there's no way for things to escalate. Much safer. But while the process for thorium is better, most of the time, people care more about the results. Well, it just so happens that thorium is pimping in that regard as well.
You made him a
CERN
fucking
estimates that 1 ton of thorium is capable of producing as much energy as 200 tons of uranium. That's a lot.
Damn.
To compare, that's also equivalent to 3.5 million tons of coal.
What the fuck?
But let's talk about byproducts. Thorium, being as pure as it is compared even to enriched uranium, produces about 100 times less nuclear waste. So whereas we might not have as many X-Men, That also means much less work has to be done to dispose of the material. Additionally, it's very difficult to make a nuclear weapon out of thorium, since it can't do much on its own. The only thing that's really weaponizable about thorium plants is that little bit of helper material I talked about earlier. But overall, that's a pretty minuscule amount. That means we can feel a lot better about plopping these plants down in places like Iran. So kids, you heard it here first. Thorium is the future. Powerful, clean, reliable, and if things go wrong at the end of the day, you can still kick its ass.
You know, nuclear energy on some real shit really didn't get that far nowadays. I really still see fossil fuels being used more than nuclear energy due to the dangers. We're getting into a new part of society where we use plasma, which is a fourth version of matter. We got solid, liquid, and gases, and plasma, and dark matter too, but we're talking about plasma. Right now, fucking plasma, fucking scientists saying we got 10 years for the engineers to catch up to making plasma energy. Plasma can make more energy than fucking you input into it. So that's damn near infinite energy source with barely any type of fucking material, and that's way fucking less than nuclear and fossil fuels. So maybe in about 10 years we have flying cars, aliens, we're gonna be going into space and shit. And this is all next into the 10 years, bro. Y'all know how this shit be getting crazy, dude. This videos on YouTube may last 10 years, and then they're gonna be implanted in our mind type shit. Y'all stay safe out there. Have a lot in the future coming. Say for the viddy.